Afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know what time it is wherever you're joining from, but I am reaching you live and direct from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja in Nigeria, and it is afternoon right here. That I want Brace Onboarding / our first Thursday event, proudly brought to you by African Food Change Makers. How are you doing today? How are you doing wherever you're joining from? So let me know in the chat box how you are feeling today. So drop an emoji in the chat box letting me know how you are feeling today. Are you feeling excited? Especially for those of you who have just been selected for, and we just want to know how you are doing this afternoon. So while you are dropping the emoji, the next thing you will do for me is to quickly introduce yourself. Yes, tell me your name, your country, and your agribusiness. Let's do that quickly. Okay, I can see a lot of persons already giving me their emoji in the chat box. I see Emmanuel Peter. Emmanuel says, hi everyone, Emmanuel Peter Bandi from Nigeria. Welcome, Emmanuel. Okay, I see a lot of persons are smiling. I guess all these people smiling are those who are just selected for this brace program. All right. I see the emojis. Jeffrey says, hello, madam. I am so excited. I guess, Jeffrey, you are a brace participant, right? Okay, all of you are excited. That's beautiful. No one is feeling bad. No one is feeling sad. Someone is running. Adam Timothy, it seems like you're jogging or you're playing basketball. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep the introduction coming. I'm seeing another Nigerian, Rahinata says, I'm so excited. Another person says, from Kenya, Bernard, welcome. All right, thank you. Another person is joining from Eswatini. Okay, let's keep the introduction coming. Oh, wow, the names are getting a lot. Apologies if I don't acknowledge you, but keep the introduction coming. I see Lucky from South Africa. I see Fola Shade from Nigeria. Oh my God, I see Uganda. I see my Ugandan brother and sister in the building. Okay, welcome from Uganda. I see another person from Rwanda. Yes, he says Herb. I am Herb from Rwanda. Okay, I see another person. Adigna is from Nigeria. I know this name. This name has joined. Okay, Adigna is from Ethiopia. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Welcome on board, everyone. So let's keep the introduction coming. The chat box is buzzing, and I may not be able to acknowledge everyone. But you're not just introducing yourself for me, okay? You are also trying to see other people.
Hi, now.
Do want to connect with them. Team members, please help me mute anyone who is not the host, okay? So thank you, everyone. So I'm going to quickly run you through the agenda for today. Remember, today is every first Thursday in African Food Change Makers is that platform where, our members Okay, so I was muted. So this is what to expect from today. We're already having the welcome and the introduction going on in the chat box. Let's keep the introduction going. You never can tell who you will meet. Your next business partner or your next person who you would collaborate on the project might be in the chat box. So, do well to sell yourself. Tell us your name, your country, and your agribusiness. And then we're going to introduce to you and tell you briefly about who we are at African Food Change Makers. Then we will go straight to the Brace overview to let you know what the Brace program is all about. Then we would then have our speaker for the first Thursday program who would also come speak to us. And after the speaker's session, we're going to go to the highly anticipated Brace 2024 Unveiling. And here we're going to let you know about, show you some of the faces of the participants who have been selected for the Brace program. And then also we're going to let you know what the program component is about, and then the expectations from the participants. Like, what do we expect from you throughout the 6 weeks of your program. So stay tuned, don't go nowhere, because it's very important. And then we're going to have the portal walkthrough, membership drive, and then we'll have a family portrait. So that is all we have for you today. Okay, so I'm going to jump quickly to the chat box to see the feedback and see those introducing themselves. And after that, we would have the introduction about AFC. So I see another person joining from Cameroon. Okay, Kenya. Oh my God, a lot of persons. So let's keep introduction coming. I see Kenya. I think I'm seeing a lot of Kenyans in the building. Kenya, I see Zambia, I see Malawi, I see Ghana. Yeah, Akwaba. All right, I think that's the first Ghana I'm seeing, except someone has introduced themselves earlier. And who else do we have here? I think I see South Africa again. So let's keep it. I see Cameroon at this point in time, and I see another South African. All right, beautiful. Let's keep the introduction going. Let's keep it going. And I would just run you through who we are at African Food Changemakers. All right, at African Food Changemakers, we believe that we are a non-profit organization that is committed to nourishing Africa. One strong belief we have is that we believe that small and medium-sized enterprises are the lifeblood of the food ecosystem. And, you know, as we were introducing ourselves and I looked through the chat, a lot of us were talking about our business. I'm the founder of this, I'm the CEO of this, and you all fall into this range of either a small or medium-sized enterprise. And you are, you know, the small and medium-sized enterprises are the lifeblood of the food ecosystem in Africa. Now, these enterprises are driven by visionary, dynamic, and innovative entrepreneurs who operate as primary producers, aggregators, processors, distributors, finance and technology provider, chef, cook, consultants, and innovators. We call them change makers. So the people we're talking about is you, okay? Because I know that those of you listening to me, we have people who are either consultants, who are primary producers, who are processors, who are distributors, who are finance and technology providers. If you know you fall into any of this value chain in the agricultural landscape, I want you to type in the chat box and say, I am a change maker. I want to see that. I want to see that. Type in the chat box and say, I am a change maker, because that is who you are, and we are existing because of you. Now, we know that change makers like you are faced with devastating impact of climate change. And that's the beauty of the Verst program that we are also unveiling today. Not only climate change makers like you are faced with the problem of global and local risk, macro and microeconomic challenges, and entrepreneurs like you, change makers like you, need funding, training, visibility, market linkages, and most importantly, a community of support to successfully scale your business. And this is where we come in, because through the African Food Changemakers Hub, we enable African entrepreneurs to start and scale resilient and sustainable agribusinesses that nourish Africa and the world. So our vision is, our mission, first of all, okay, let me see, I see the chat box is buzzing. I see people writing, I am a change maker. Yes, that is who you are. And I want you to work with that mindset, because your business is not just meant for your family. It's meant to nourish Africa and the world at large. So keep typing it. If you've not yet typed that you're a change maker, I want you to type it, because the more the consciousness of who you are lives with you, it will determine how you operate in your business. So our mission is to enable African entrepreneurs to start and to scale resilient and sustainable agribusinesses that feed Africa and the world. And how are we going to achieve this? It is by providing training, funding opportunities, exposure, trade linkages, and fostering a vibrant community of change makers. Our vision is 1 million successful and sustainable African agribusinesses that are transforming the food ecosystem and are recognized and respected across the globe. Okay, so before we go into the race, I'm going to hand over later on to the programs officer. But here's what we do. We've told you about the problem we've identified and what we're trying to do to solve that problem. We've told you about our vision and also our mission. So how do we achieve this our mission and our vision, the first thing is we provide community. So AFC provides a platform for African agri-food entrepreneurs to partner with one another to develop collaborative model and engage in peer-to-peer support. So if you're not yet a member of AFC and you just joined this call because you are part of the Brace participants, you're missing a lot, okay? But then stay till the end of this event. We will let you know how you can become a part of AFC. So don't go nowhere. We have a lot in store for you. The next thing we do is learning and training. So AFC offers tailored training, and we will partner with several organizations to build resilience and sustainable, successful green businesses with regional and global impact and relevance. And part of our learning and training, we have several programs. We have programs such as the Scaling Export Program. We have programs like the Brace, Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shock. We also have another program called the Leading Africa Women in Food Fellowship. We have the First Thursdays and several other capacity development programs that we have that are channeled specifically to agripreneurs across Africa. We also provide data and opportunities, and then visibility and recognition. This is just some of the ways we achieve our broad vision, our vision and our mission at Africa Food Change Makers. So up next, I'm going to invite the programs officer for Brace, who would quickly give us okay, before I invite her, I'm going to play a video giving us an overview of the Brace program. The Brace program, in case you don't know what it is building resilience against climate and environmental shocks. Climate change is affecting agripreneurs negatively across the globe, and this program has been designed to, okay, let me not say it. So you're going to watch a video that will give you an overview of what the Brace program is all about. And after that, the Brace programs officer, Patience Brimo, will take over and give you a little bit rundown of how the program, last year, the impact of the program, and then how the application process for this year happened. Please, can you hear the sound of the video?
We cannot hear. You didn't share with sound.
Okay, so I just suspected that. So I would stop sharing and I would reshare to make sure that you can hear the sound from the video.
We are delighted that you have made...
So confirm you can hear the sound now.
Yes, we can hear it now.
Okay, that's great. All right.
We are delighted that you have made the critical decision to embark on this exciting learning adventure called Brace, Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shocks. This program is designed and implemented by African food changemakers with the support of the Skoll Foundation. Over the next 6 weeks, you will gain critical insights into the climate change agenda and why it matters to your agribusiness. Every entrepreneur and every employee of an agri-food business must recognize that climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing us as humanity. The agriculture and food sectors are significant contributors to climate change and also face the brunt of its impact on their businesses. Not only does climate change affect temperatures and water levels, but also causes droughts and floods and exacerbates soil degradation. This ultimately affects farm productivity levels, fosters pest and disease outbreaks, and leads to higher post-harvest spoilage rates and livestock sickness and deaths. In spite of the stark realities, you can play a critical role in mitigating climate change and also ensuring that your business adopts climate-smart practices and enhances its resilience. This is why your decision to embark on this journey with African Food Changemakers is such an important one. It will definitely make an incredible difference in your life and in your agribusiness. Brace yourself for 6 weeks of self-paced learning, virtual live training sessions, and assessments. Our hope at African Food Changemakers is that this program will equip you with the knowledge, skills, and tools to ensure that your business can become more resilient and even thrive in the face of climate change, and that you ultimately become a climate champion. We look forward to riding this exciting adventure with you to build a sustainable future for the African food ecosystem.
All right, congratulations once again to everyone who has been selected for the Brace program. You are in for a ride. So right now, I'll hand over to, please put your hands together before I hand over, because there's something about appreciation. And I want us to appreciate the programs officer for the Brace program who has, if you've received your congratulatory mail, if you've received any mail that they've asked you to fill the form, send it back. She went through, she reviewed your applications, she sent the mail, and she has been working so hard behind the scenes to see that this program is a success. So put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat box. I want to see the hand. I want to see the hand. I want to see the hand. Keep clapping as we make welcome the programs officer for the Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shock, Patience Brimo.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and thank you very much, and congratulations to all of you that made it to the 2024 Brace cohort. Welcome. So I'll just quickly give a brief overview of the Brace. Brace, the Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shocks. That's the full meaning of Brace. Is an intensive capacity development program designed to support African small and medium entrepreneurs in the agribusiness. Leveraging on ICT, data, and innovation, Brace will empower agri-SMEs through training and technical support to implement sustainable solutions to scaling the agribusinesses. Brace will leverage a hybrid learning experience to engage entrepreneurs through training, peer learning, and practical applications. So I'm just letting you know that it's going to be an hybrid program, and then you'll be having to learn for the next 6 weeks, like the overview said. You have to learn for the next 6 weeks through the portal, and we'll also be having live interactive sessions where you get to engage one-on-one with facilitators, industry experts that will take you through some of the practices in climate smarts and all that. So what are the training objectives? They are to help you gain awareness about climate change, to develop strategies to adapt to the effects of climate change, and then to develop and deploy mitigation strategies against climate change. And the lastly is to gain insight into climate financing and other opportunities in the ecosystem. So for some people we couldn't admit to the program is because they were less than 18. So it's actually, you have to be 18 years and above to be able to take the program. You have to have a registered and operational agribusiness. So if you don't have an agribusiness, you would have made it here, but you're here because you're interested in climate change, and then you have an agribusiness, and also you are an adult, like 18 years and above, and you're a resident of an African country. So it means that everyone here is actually a resident or a citizen of one African country or the other. Next slide, please. Let's have the next slide. All right, so what's our journey so far? So we have about 1,163 persons that applied for this course. We had we're able to select 1,115, and at the end of the day, we admitted 876 persons and all that. So for the gender disaggregation, we have 36% of the selected participants female, we have 64% as male, and then we have different agribusiness sectors here. We have the fishery, we have forestry, we have animal production, and then we have crop production. You could see that crop production actually made it massively into this place from our chat. And then for the value chains, we have people in the production value chain, we have people in processing and packaging, we have people in aggregation, logistics, and then retail and marketing. And then we have others, we have just 5%. It means that if you're interested in one value chain or the other, you really have people to partner with or collaborate with, even in this program. So we have people participating from Nigeria, from Kenya, from Ghana, from South Africa, from Zambia, from Rwanda. These are the countries where we have our populations, right? But there are other countries, other African countries also participating in this program. And yeah, we really have up to like 25 or thereabout African countries, but then we have these names here because they are more of the people. So this program actually started last year. We had the first cohort last year, which was the 2023 cohort, and this year is the 2024 cohort. So for the 2023 cohort, we were able to train over 1,000 participants from different African countries as well. And we, apart from just the live interactive sessions and then the portal walkthrough, some of these participants also were taken to business visits. Like we had study visit, right? Where people went to IITA, people went to NIFPRI to be able to study and see what the things that they were taught during the sessions or during the live sessions and all that. So apart from just learning online, you at some point you have to have a physical visit where you meet with some learned and experts that will take you through some of the things that you will learn online for you to be able to understand better. This is just for us to gain practical understanding of the things that we're learning online. So apart from that, we also have a time where you be attached to one mentor that will take you through, because as a result of the sector you are in, the agribusiness or the value chain, you get someone that would take you through the process of what you are doing. For example, if you are in crop production, you are in animal production, you have a mentor that is also in crop production that will be able to mentor you through what you are doing and all that, and that will last for a while and all that. So these are the things that you are expecting to get or gain from the Embrace program. Thank you so much, and then thank you everyone. I hope to see all of you as time goes on. We'll keep meeting and talking. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Patience. Don't worry, we're still going to bring up Patience. I know some of you will be like, oh, no, I have some questions, but calm down. This program is still on. So let's say this is like the first half for Patience. Patience is still going to come back to let you know more about what is expected of you for this 2024 cohort. You know you're a special cohort. Do you know the name of your cohort? Can anyone guess? Just type, if you know the name of this Brace cohort, type it in the chat box. I want to know. Okay, I can't see. Someone says special cohorts. No, it's not special cohorts. We know it's special cohort, but there is a name for your cohort. Who knows the name for this cohort? No, Felicia, it's not cohort 1. Who knows the name for this cohort? No, Caroline, it's not cohort 2024. Kenneth is not Brace. It's not resilience cohort. It's, oh, Edric got it. No, Edric, you're close, but you didn't get it. You wrote green cohort, but that's not the full one. Who can guess? Like, I need someone to tell me the full. Someone got it a bit. He said green, but it's Yemi-san says, I think I've missed. Edric, if you can if you can complete it, you're almost in line, but it's not fully. You said green cohort. Someone says second cohort. Lamide said cohort 2. Fatima said cohort 3. Miriam says Brace cohort 2. Okay. Someone says green resilience cohort. Ha. because I said green is there, you're not adding resilience. No, nobody knows. Nobody. I'm going to go back with my prize. I'm going to go back. Green resilience. Nah, green is there, but that's not the full one. And I said green resolution cohort. Green Stewards. Yes, Edric still got it. Edric, Africa Food Change Makers. You typed in, but that's because Edric is the first person who got it, and it was still Edric that first said green cohort, but then Edric still came back to correct himself. This cohort is called the Green Stewards. Okay, so I want you to have that at the back of your mind. Know that my cohort, because I'm still going to have other cohorts of grace, but your cohort is called the Green Steward. And I want you to know that out of over 1,163 applications from over 25 countries in Africa, you were selected. Man, put your hands together for yourself. Come on, you deserve that. Congratulations. And I hope that, you know, you're not just going to, this energy that you're starting with, you're going to keep up the energy as you go through this program. So I'm going to invite right now, I'm going to invite our speaker. We have a speaker for this session, and the speaker would come up. And after the speaker comes up, we would unveil the 2024, that is the Green Steward cohort of the Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shock. So you're going to do something for me. I'll read the profile of the speaker. And after I'm done reading the profile, I want you all to put your hand. Don't start clapping now yet. So let's get the drill. So I read the profile, and after the profile, we would welcome our speaker. So our speaker is Charles Waweru. He's the head of Carbon Project Development at Verst Carbon. He leads efforts to enhance Africa's presence in carbon markets. Verst Carbon, committed to advancing Africa's role in carbon markets, focuses on leveraging climate-smart finance to foster green jobs and community benefits through project financing, DMRV, community benefit sharing, and transparency. The company excels as a technology provider and project developer in carbon markets. Charles combines an academic rigor with practical experience, holding a degree in applied mathematics and pursuing an MSc in environmental science, complemented by a PGDIP in GMRV. His expertise spans environmental regulations and government relations in carbon markets, encompassing methodologies from Article 6 to CDM and Plan Vivo. His project interest ranges from clean cooking to renewable energy, and he actively engages in knowledge sharing and capacity building in carbon markets through grassroots and international events. Charles also drives initiatives to assist government in formulating carbon market activation plans, showcasing his dedication to advancing sustainable practices in Africa's carbon market landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the head of Carbon Project Development at Verst Carbon, Mr. Charles Waweru. Please put your hands together in the chat box for Mr. Charles. I can't see the hands. I can't see the hands. Let's keep putting out. Okay, the hands are here. I love your energy. I like the Green Steward cohort. Mr. Charles, welcome. We're excited to have you. Please, yes, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm also very pleased to see that there are quite a number of individuals from across the continent who are very keen and eager to participate in today's session. I hope I'm projecting my screen. I hope you can all see my screen. Maybe, Anne, you can confirm that? You're all able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. We can see it. Very clear.
Great. Great. I'm going to have a quick run through in terms of what I have here for you today. And of course, you are free to share the slide with the members of the participants in this current cohort. And I'm really excited to learn more about what's happening across the continent, especially in the areas of agriculture, or should I say amongst Africa's entrepreneurs. And my role here today basically is to take you through how can you navigate the green path, that is boosting business efficiency through climate intelligence. I must say it's a very interesting topic, and my whole idea was that I'm going to see how best can I support this particular conversation by leveraging some of my understanding and knowledge from the carbon markets, mixed together with what you call improved agricultural land management, and of course see just how can we merge these different ecosystems. And for me to really be able to achieve this, I'll take you through a number of key areas, but in terms of our goal for the day, basically is what you're seeing on the screen. I want to merge your understanding of business efficiency, climate intelligence, and the carbon markets. I know some of you have been hearing things to do with carbon markets, carbon credit, etc. No worries, I'll give you a very quick run through of what it means and how can we have intersection. My goal today is to make sure to get to that intersection where it's labeled X. X is whereby you're able to intercede or to move an idea of business efficiency, climate intelligence, and carbon market. Do not worry what each of these phrases means, because that's exactly why I'm here today. With regards to the first intersection, showing the intersection between climate intelligence and business efficiency is good, 2 is good, 3 is good, but really the sweet spot, what will really make you to be able to scale from zero to hero, as I always like to call it, is by merging these 3 areas. And for you to be able to merge these 3 areas, basically, you need first of all understand what does business efficiency simply mean. In a nutshell, it's all about how can you, as an agripreneur, be able to use your resources more effectively: time, money, materials. None of these resources are infinite. Most of you have come to appreciate that every single minute you spend in doing something that has got no material gain is time wasted, money potentially not gained, and therefore wasted. And also, you've come to realize that if you're doing your business, your agri-business, more often than not, you might be able to see some cases of waste within the production process. So my proposition here today is, how can you minimize waste? How can you reduce the amount of emissions coming from the agricultural productivity, agricultural business you're undertaking, and leverage all this waste into a carbon market opportunity and for you to get carbon finance? I'm going to explain that by the end of this conversation. But business efficiency in the case of in the climate context, basically, you're looking at how can you optimize your resources. Resources are always finite. If you have $100 and that's your budget for the week, must make sure how can we be able to utilize this $100 over the next couple of days so you can meet your end goal. How can you also make sure, for example, that the supply chains, the people who are providing with you raw materials, the people who are providing for you products for your market, how can you make sure they're going to be sustainable? Similarly, if you're looking at the context of business efficiency, you look at how can you leverage climate intelligence. I'm sure most of you have heard of things to do like big data, for example. If you're able to make sure you're able to collect data from your entire value chain, you're able to then analyze the data and arrive at a decision based on data. Objective decision, not subjective, not your feelings, insinuations, or wishful thinking. Leveraging data, looking at, you're studying market trends, you're studying the supply trends, and using all this information to ensure you're able to give to make an informed opinion. Secondly, you all realize that the whole premise behind Verst is making sure that our agripreneurs have got we've been built into adaptation and resilience. How can you make sure then you're able to rely on climate intelligence to make sure your agricultural processes are going to be adapted to the current climate ecosystem? How are you able to make sure that despite there being a prolonged drought, we had a very long prolonged drought here in Kenya, how are you going to make sure that the next drought you're going to be resilient, making sure you can meet some of your supply demands and to your ecosystem? And most importantly now, how can we leverage climate opportunity? How can you reduce the amount of emissions, for example, from agricultural production, and make sure you can convert any potential waste and emissions reduction into a carbon opportunity. And that brings me to a very important question that maybe some of you might be having. Why are we saying that in agriculture, there's some kind of emissions reduction and that some potential savings? For those of you, for example, who have been into rice farming, for example, you will appreciate, for example, if you are doing rice cultivation within flooded fields, then you will appreciate that sometimes when you're trying to bring up rice, like the gentleman you can see on the far right color, on the far right picture, far left picture, when you're doing when rice is being grown in flooded fields, we tend to create what you call these anaerobic conditions that allow bacteria to decompose and to decompose the organic matter. And as the organic matter is being decomposed, it tends to release methane. Now, when this methane is being emitted, it's not good for your personal human health. But through the carbon markets, there's a way in which you can alter your rice cultivation process to ensure that you're able to reduce the amount of methane coming out on account of the rice cultivation. If you're able to then quantify this amount of methane that you've been able to reduce, take it through the carbon project process, which I'll take you through briefly, then you're able to be assigned what you call now the so-called carbon credits, which you then come to the carbon market, you're able to sell these so-called carbon credits, you get some money, and of course, when you get this carbon finance, you can put it back into your production process. Those of you who have been dealing with dairy livestock, for example, you will recall that when the dairy livestock is it's feeding whatever feedstock you're giving to it, it tends to have what you call the BAPs or the fats, and in the process, it tends to emit this methane. Here in Kenya, for example, there's a study which was done which says a typical dairy cattle emits up to 54 kilograms of methane. However, there's some bit of research that we as Verst Carbon and others you're trying to do is using red seaweed as a feed supplement, and it's a feed supplement that is able to reduce the amount of methane being emitted by this cattle. We then are able to quantify the amount of reduction of the methane being emitted, and then quantify it, put it into what we call a project design document, have it interrogated and audited, and then of course we're going to be issued these so-called carbon credits. These are some of the ways in which, through agriculture, if you're able to adopt what you call the sustainable or improve agricultural land management practices, we're able to reduce the amount of methane. There are quite a number of companies who are doing this. Here in Kenya, we have got one of our partners working within Uganda, they're called Modus Energy, for example. They're able to convert what you call agricultural and farm waste into energy. Those of you are familiar with pyrolysis, for example, it's a way in which, or gasification, it's a way in which you're converting waste into energy, and also in the process, you're able to come up with what you call biochar. Biochar can also be used as a supplement supplement for your manure. So you stop using inorganic fertilizers, for example, and you're using organic fertilizers. For those of you who are farmers, you'll attest that in most cases, when done correctly, the farm output, the productivity of the farm tends to be higher when you're using organic fertilizers compared to inorganic. But of course, there are a number of considerations you have to also put in mind. But all we are trying to say here is there's a way in which you can leverage climate smart agricultural practices. And as you're all familiar, most of you, I'm sure you have done some bit of farming. The main objective of climate smart agriculture is threefold. Number one, you're looking at ways in which you're going to increase productivity. Remember, land as a resource is finite. You have got your 2 acres of land. What can you do to increase the productivity of the 2 acres of land without necessarily expanding the land size? You have your 2 acres, deal with it. There are a number of things you can do. Secondly, how can you make sure that wherever you are, whether you're in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Zambia, wherever you are, how can you make sure that your farm is going to be, that the farming practices and your entire processes are going to enhance the climate resilience, such that even when you have got drought and famine, you're able to make sure that you're still able to meet some of your supply demands. And thirdly, and most importantly, how can you reduce the amount of emissions coming from your farm? Those of you who are in dairy livestock, you will recall that the more the amount of the methane that's coming from your dairy livestock, the lesser the amount of milk that's being produced. And conversely, when you reduce the amount of methane being produced by livestock, the amount of milk productivity simultaneously tends to go up. And all this is going towards the agenda or the vision of climate smart agriculture. But of course, it sounds like a brilliant idea, but it comes with a set of challenges. For example, there's initial high capital costs. Who really is going to foot the capital costs? Of course, it's you. But what can I do from within my agricultural farm to raise alternative revenue to meet this cost? Carbon finance, carbon credits. How can you also make sure you're able to collect this so-called climate intelligence, leverage big data? Because this is another challenge. And most importantly, most of us tend to use farming practices that are passed down to us by our fathers and grandfathers. So there tends to be this capital of social resistance to change. Change is inevitable. The only thing you just need to work out is how are you going to make sure you're going to meet this. I'm going to give you an example of some of the areas of climate smart agriculture. I've already mentioned them, but I'm just going to mention them. And please feel free to have a screenshot of the presentation. And also, I'm going to ask the organizers at Verst to make sure they're able to share this. I'm going to look at two key areas. Circular economy. I'm sure most of you have heard of the idea of circular economy, whereby you're able to make sure that any waste that is being generated can be reused. That way, you're reducing the amount of emissions. You're also potentially reducing the amount of raw materials you need. And I like using the simple example of waste to energy. You're collecting animal and farm waste, for example, and you can create biogas. When you have your biogas, you can use it for heating, you can use it for lighting as well. All these are possible alternatives that you can definitely be using. In the case of the clients I'm dealing with for called Verst Energy in Uganda, they do what you call gasification of wet biomass, and they're able to generate electricity, which they're then combining it with solar energy and providing it to the communities in Gulu. Gulu is in northern Uganda. Similarly, they're able to produce biochar, and the biochar is going to be mixed with slurry, which then gives you the biofertilizer, and the fertilizer is put to the grounds, and it's going to improve the productivity. Particularly, they're targeting rice and maize. And what's very important here to note is the waste material that's being used for the gasification is coming from the same farmers that are being given this electricity and this biochar. So we're looking at rice husks, the maize tobobas, we're looking at the coffee husks, which ordinarily for most of you, you'll appreciate that when you're dealing with rice husks, that leftover after a milling, or you're looking at your coffee husks, in most cases, you tend to burn these things. And as you're burning these things, you're doing a lot of GHG emissions. But what they're doing in northern Uganda, in Gulu, and in Gulu, is that they're collecting this waste husks, this waste biomass, and burning them to what you call the gasification, to provide electricity for the same farmers, to provide biochar, which can be used as a fertilizer for the very same farmers. It's an entire circular economy. Nothing goes to waste. And in the process, we as Verst Carbon are helping them quantify the greenhouse gas emissions that have been reduced and being able to do the carbon accounting and have them issue carbon credits, which when they sell in the international carbon markets, they're able to get actual cash in USD, that is dollars, and put it back into the business. Circular economy. Nothing goes to waste. Your waste turns to money. Of course, it's a question of scale. Don't worry about the scale, because when you're looking at different farmers within a defined geographical zone, there's something we call aggregation. So you've got your 10, 20 farmers. Each of them, for example, only has 5 acres. But if you aggregate and put them together, you're able to have a combined, solid business unit that you can then be able to have more economies of scale. Another example of climate smart agriculture that works very well in the carbon market is what you call regenerative agriculture. What am I talking about? These are things you're already doing. I'm talking about rotational grazing. I'm talking about crop cover and rotation. I'm talking about reducing tillage. I'm talking about agroforestry. You're taking care of the forest, but at the same time, you're doing some bits of farming. I'm talking about water management, improving irrigation by using solar panels, for example, to power the pumps. I'm talking about application of organic fertilizers. All these 6 interventions are not only going to make sure you're increasing your productivity, making sure you're increasing your resilience to climate change, but most importantly, reducing your emissions. And because you're reducing your emissions, we have got carbon standards like Verst and Gold Standard, who are able to then issue the so-called carbon credits. There's a company working in sub-Saharan Africa, for example, called Bumitra. It's aggregating different farmers from Kenya, Ghana, and Tanzania through this particular regenerative agriculture project. And they're able to now get this so-called carbon credits. And that's really is the value offering I'm trying to bring here today. Because if you're able to demonstrate that your revised agricultural practices are able to reduce emission, and then we're able to say that you're scalable, then you present yourself with the opportunity to get this so-called carbon credits or carbon finance. And for most of these farmers that are actually doing this, it's like an additional alternative revenue. Remember, you'll keep doing your typical agricultural activity, whether it's agribusiness, if it's the actual agriculture, you're doing your maize plantation, you're doing your rice, you keep doing it, following certain principles of agricultural land management, but making sure you're reducing the original emissions, you're reducing the baseline emission from your current project emissions. You are then able to quantify through a very systematic scientific process. I'll run through it because of time, and they're then able to be given this so-called carbon credits, and then somebody's going to buy it. You're probably wondering at this point in time, who are these so-called people that are going to buy? For those of you in Ghana, for example, you will recall that very recently, about during COP27, the government of Ghana was able to sign an arrangement with the federal government of Switzerland, whereby rice cultivation farmers are being put together to undertake a specific method of reducing the amount of methane because of flooded areas that they are using for rice cultivation. And in the process, should they reduce the emissions, they are going to be given some form of finance by the government of Ghana from the government of Switzerland. Those of you in Ghana, you can attest to this as a way in which the carbon markets can be used to improve the finance. And of course, all these finances, when they are coming to you, it's green money. It's meant to ensure you're improving your business efficiency, because you're no longer having waste, you reduce the amount of waste, you're no longer making, just most importantly, you're making sure you're able to reduce the amount of emissions. I won't go into the technicalities of the carbon markets. This is something we can have a different conversation in, but in a nutshell, you have got your compliance market. Most of you might have heard of Paris Agreement. You might have of COP, the COP28 in Dubai. All these are some of the ways in which we have got the carbon market, the compliance market for governments, and then we've got the voluntary carbon markets for now private citizens like you and me. And also, we have got what we now call the Article 6 framework, whereby governments in the global south, that is Africa, they can marshal the private citizens to undertake various interventions in the areas of agroforestry, in the areas of regenerative agriculture, to come up with what we call now these carbon credits, these carbon offset projects, and then through the government sell them to those from the global north, like Switzerland, in Europe, or North America, and you get actual cash. In the case of Ghana, for example, for every carbon credit that they're able to sell, they're able to sell one carbon credit at the rate of about $23, which is above the typical carbon market price of $5. Allow me to quickly stop the jargon and clarify some things here. When I say carbon credit, really, what am I talking about? I am talking about being able to reduce up to 1 ton of these greenhouse gases. For every 1 ton of greenhouse gases they're able to reduce, you're given what you call the carbon credit. But the carbon credit really is gotten by looking at the baseline scenario. What are the kind of emissions you're emitting during the baseline scenario in terms of current right now, if I'm to come to your farm and you've got cattle, you've got your rice fields and whatnot, how much greenhouse gases are we currently emitting? Then, when we introduce this climate smart agricultural practices that are going to be reducing the emission, what then will be the revised emission? How many emissions are you going to be ejecting into the atmosphere? That difference, in a nutshell, becomes your carbon credits. But of course, not every intervention might make you qualify. There's something we call additionality, and additionality really is basically whatever you're trying to do, is it of a greater benefit to the climate ecosystem, to the environment basically, and do you need climate finance to be able to achieve these interventions that you are trying to do? If the answer is yes, then we say your project is additional, and of course, then you can proceed and have the carbon project being registered. I will not go to this; it's a bit technical, but for those of us who will be having the further interactive sessions, I'll be able to happily take you through this. But basically, the ability for you to adopt climate smart agricultural practices, the ability for you to reduce the amount of emissions, the ability for you to make sure your agricultural practices are now more and more resilient, then you're looking at a possible case for carbon credits. I can tell you for free, all the interventions that you're currently seeing here on your screen, whether you're talking about reducing the amount of food wasted, and instead you're coming up with ways in which you're going to be able to store food. Verra has a particular methodology that speaks to this. If you're able to reduce the amount of methane coming from the rice fields or the cow manure or the enteric fermentation, all these are possible areas of carbon credits and of course carbon finance. If you're able to reduce the amount of land deterioration from zero grazing, and now you're doing rotational grazing, there's a methodology for that, and of course you can get carbon credits at the end of the day. Please have a screenshot of this. Those of you whom we shall be having more nuanced engagements, I'll be happy to take you through the specific projects. There are certain large-scale projects happening here in Africa, and we can look at some of them. A typical carbon project in the areas of agriculture goes for 30 years. What this actually means is that you're able to generate this so-called carbon finance for up to 30 years. And of course, I'll be able to take you through this. I've talked about Ghana doing something with Ghana was actually the first country to do an export framework that is an Article 6 carbon framework with globally. And through this, there's a project called Climate Smart Rice Cultivation Project that is looking at adopting alternative wetting and drying technology within Ghana. Hundreds of thousands of farmers within Ghana are part of this project. And the beauty of this is, number one, they're able to increase their rice cultivation, they're able to reduce the cost of rice cultivation, they're able to make sure they're more resilient, and most importantly, they're able to reduce the amount of methane that's being produced. And because of these interventions, they're being able to do carbon accounting and issue carbon credits. This is not a work of fiction. These are things which have been happening for over 2 decades. You might have heard of them. This is a possible, and of course, we'll have a different session for us to have more interaction. Of course, coming up with the carbon project is a lengthy process. I won't go through this. Have a screenshot of this. We'll talk about this in some other session when having a more technical discussion. But you're basically looking at a 9-stage process, involves a number of partners, but we as Verst Carbon can help you take you through this whole process of feasibility all the way until issuance. And lastly, you might be wondering, what is the opportunity in terms of money? I'm showing you a graph here that speaks to the kind of revenue you're looking at. So if you're looking at something in the areas of agriculture, in terms of the sale of credits in the international market, if you're in the agriculture sector, you're looking at 1 carbon credit. That is 1 ton of greenhouse gases removed at anywhere between 10 and 80 US dollars, which really, if you really think about it, if you're able to remove something like 20,000, 10,000 tons, multiplied by even the least amount of the least carbon credit price, then really we're looking at substantive alternative revenue coming into your cohorts, and you being able to really make something from it. That said, allow me to stop there, and I'm happy to take some questions, and of course, I'll ask the organizers to share this particular presentation. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. I know that I was a bit rushed. I just wanted to start getting some ideas. Most of you, I know that you know some of the best ways to reduce emissions, and I'm happy to support you in that. Otherwise, thank you so much. Back to you, Anna, and of course, some questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Charles. That was really insightful, very detailed presentation, and I saw a lot of persons already commending you in the chat box. Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. It was really insightful. So, ladies and gentlemen, please can we appreciate Mr. Charles in the chat box? In addition to your appreciation, kindly share your key takeaway from your session. Let me know what stood out for you from his session. What was the highlight for you before we go into questions? And as well, if you have questions, please drop them in the chat box. And I'm sure Mr. Charles will be very excited to, answer your questions. So let's keep the appreciation ongoing in the chat box and also the questions as well. All right. Okay, I can see a lot of appreciation. Thank you all. Thank you for the appreciation. Okay, any question? Let me check. Oh my God, there are a lot of chats here. A lot. So Mr. Charles, we're going to share the slides to everyone who is part of this program. As well, the recording of this this session will be up on our YouTube channel. Once it's up, we would share the link with you so you can go back and watch it over and over again. All right. I'm trying to scan through the. Okay, everyone, I can see your thank you. I can see the round of applause. I can see thank you very much. Thank you for a nice presentation. Thank you very much for the presentation. It's an eye-opener. Thank you for the wonderful. I'm in Ghana and I have a lot to learn. Okay, nice presentation. I see the hand. I see well articulated. Mr. Charles, we are deeply grateful for the insightful presentation you've delivered this afternoon. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm trying to scan to see if there's any question. I think everyone, your presentation was well received and it was very detailed and insightful, and I'm sure it was also well understood. Okay, I think I see a question, and the question is from Esther. She says, oh my God, this chat's, sorry. She said, what is the minimum size of land? What is the minimum size of land does one have to earn carbon credit?
So that's question. So the question really it's tricky, because if you come to me, let's say, as Anne, with just your 1 acre, then the economic viability might be in question because of the cost implication. However, the solution that most carbon point developers provide for you is what we call aggregation. So, for example, assuming all of us are in Ghana, for example, so Anne comes with her 1 acre, James data here comes with 2 acres, Patient comes with her 3 acres, and so on and so forth. So we do aggregation. We treat the intervention as one carbon project, but really when the carbon credit is coming out, you are given the carbon credit based on the proportion of the proportional size of your land. So whereas I could easily say 1 acre would be a minimum, it really doesn't matter, because if we go by the process of aggregation, grouping things together, it becomes very easy, because here in Africa, not unless you're in some countries, finding a single landowner with maybe 20,000 acres is not that easy. So what you're simply saying, even if you've got your 1 acre, your 5 acres, your 10 acres, it's not a problem, because we do aggregation. Yeah. Okay,
thank you, Mr. Charles. Okay, so I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Charles, for the enlightenment. We sincerely appreciate great opportunities in the carbon market. Okay, I'm scanning. Okay, I think I see a question. Oh, what? Okay, I think I've taken that question. Sorry. Oh my God, you're all so active that your questions, all the chats are. Well, my question is, what type of feed can be given to animals to reduce the methane?
That's an interesting question, and thank you for that. So currently, the only feed supplement that has been found to be useful so far, has been tested and it's actually being deployed here in Africa, parts of the UK, is red seaweed. It's a particular species of seaweeds. So your country must have seaweeds, of course. So it's a red seaweed. You're not giving the cow the actual seaweed. It's a small process you take it through. And then remember, this is a supplement that you add to the ordinary feedstock, if it's super napier or whatever it is that you give to your cattle. And then what then happens is, ordinarily, because of the kind of renal digestion the cattle has, what the red seaweed does is to reduce the capacity of those enzymes that make the methane be produced. Then, of course, with the reduced amount of methane, the milk production tends to increase. But of course, this is a gradual process. But so far, what we have is red seaweed, and it's a supplement. We don't feed the cattle with the seaweed directly. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Charles. Okay, another question is, how do you prepare for a baseline for carbon credit journey? So I think I'm going to read out the question, so you just answer them. Maybe I'll take 3, you answer, because we just have 5 more minutes for this question session. So the question is, how can small farmers benefit in the carbon credit program? Another one is, how do you prepare for a baseline for carbon credit journey? Another question is, I'm into animal production and I'm motivated to reduce. Okay, this is like a feedback. Okay, thank you so much, Peter, for that feedback. In Malawi, is there any opportunity of carbon markets? Okay, another question is, how can you file for carbon credits when you are adopting climate smart agriculture? What are the requirements? Okay, I'll take it again. I see you're writing down, so we don't miss out. How can you file for carbon credits when you are adopting climate smart agriculture? What are the requirements? Okay, another question is, well, my question is, what type of feed can be given? Okay, I think we've taken that question. A key takeaway says, my ability to reorganize my agricultural practices so as to reduce carbon emission can earn me some fun. Yes, thank you for the feedback. Let's keep the feedback coming as well as the question, okay? Okay, so please kindly answer those questions, and then let me scan through. We'll take another site, and then I think we would let Mr. Charles go on the break for today. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Charles.
Thank you for that. So the quick question on baseline, how do we do a baseline study? So baseline, as the name suggests, is what is the current practice. So if you're looking at a farm dealing with, let's say, it could be crop or livestock or combination of the two. So we are looking at basically how exactly do you till the land, for example. Number 2, which kind of livestock animals do you have? Because depending on which animal you have, there's a case of manure, or there's a case of methane emissions either from manure or from the fermentation, the indirect fermentation. In the case of the crops, for example, for the land, how do you till the land? Which kind of fertilizers do you use, organic or inorganic? We then do a soil sample analysis to find out what we call the soil organic carbon contents of the current baseline. So it has to be a lab process. And then we then start doing the interventions. Use of organic fertilizers, for example, you can use the manure mixed with the banana peels, for example, whatever it is, just to improve the soil organic carbon. Then, after let's say 12 months of you doing these interventions, we do another soil analysis to measure the amount of soil organic carbon content. That difference, that improvement, more or less, through a series of calculations, we then have your so-called carbon credits. It's a little bit more complex, but in a nutshell, that's how we do it. There are what we call scientific formulas, scientific methodologies, and and Verst can maybe organize a particular session, I can take you guys through what you call the carbon opportunity within agriculture. I take you through the systematic processes. The other question on how can small farmers, I'm assuming it's smallholder farmers, I've just said it, if you can simply aggregate, come together. If, for example, you're in one country, it becomes very, very easy for you to do the aggregation. It's something that's a common practice. It's nothing crazy, because we do analysis of each farmer as they come into what we call now the pool. Okay, so we just do the same thing. We then do a baseline study, and then when the credits are being issued, each farmer is getting based on the proportionality of the intervention. When you're looking at opportunities for carbon market, whether you're in Malawi or whether you're trying to do it in any part of the country, the key question that any person has to ask when they're looking at the carbon opportunities is this: are you doing an activity that has either one of these three things? Are you doing a project that is avoiding emission? Are you doing a project that is reducing emission? Are you doing a project that is removing emissions? If you're doing something that's doing either one of these three things, it is a possible carbon opportunity. The only question left is scalability. How big are we talking about? Because there are certain cost implications, some cost factors, but basically that's what we call the carbon logic. If you're able to do an activity that's able to do either one of these three things, then it is a carbon opportunity. And climate smart agricultural practices like the ones I've been showcasing here, and I'm sure most of you as farmers, you have got other interventions which are yet to be discovered. Anything that is reducing or removing greenhouse gases, methane, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, anything that's removing these things at decent scale, you can make a very good case for carbon opportunities. And please feel free to ask for respondents from the organizers. You can always drop an email or a question. I'll be happy to respond to any and all of this. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Charles. I don't know, can you still take more questions, or because I have...
Yeah, sure. It all depends on the time, but yeah, I'm still...
I'll take this once, but I want everyone to know, I know you have a lot of questions, but this BRACE program has been designed to clarify some of these questions you already have. So as you delve into the course over the next 6 weeks, I'm sure that by the end of this program, these questions you want to ask today you would have gotten better answers when you delve into the course. Okay, so in case we don't take your question, don't be angry or don't feel like we sidelined you. We had a lot of questions, so I'm going to take these 4 questions at once, then I'll give Mr. Charles some time to respond, because what we have next is to unveil the 2024 cohort, and also to let you know what is expected of you throughout the duration of this program, because a lot of persons start the BRACE program, but not everyone complete it. But I want you to pay keen attention, because what you will hear in the next section of this virtual program will help you know how to space out your time and ensure that you not only start, but you complete this program. So the question here is, so please, we produce organic fertilizer and used to farm organic crop in the farm, but don't have equipment for irrigation. How can we benefit from it and scale our production in Ghana? Another one says, we deal with sisal. Has there been any research on if sisal crop absorb carbon, and how can we earn as a farm, and how can we earn farmer carbon credit? I guess it's not, I think there was some typographical error. Another question says, can we utilize the opportunities carbon credit offers to solve problems like erosion, and if possible, agroecological beautification? And then the last but not the least for today would be, where does one start on a small scale? For example, we see that the technology is expensive. For example, in biogas to electricity, in order to get a prototype is a long journey. So how can a medium-sized farmer start? All right, thank you. Over to you, Mr. Charles.
Thank you for those questions. So on the issues of the irrigation, because I'm getting the impression that the question of there's a question on finances. Where do we get these finances? The person asking the question of looking at irrigation, the person looking at the cost implication, basically what you call carbon project finance. So the way in which we approach in the carbon market is as follows. You recall I mentioned something called PDD, a project design document. So the project design document is like the what, the where, the why, and the how of your mitigation activity. When we come up with the project design document through, of course, the scientific process, and it has been done what you call validation, that it has been tested by a third-party auditor and validated that this PDD has been designed in line with the specific scientific carbon methodology, and the PDD has later on been approved by the carbon registry. You can use the PDD as what you call a collateral. Like the way you use a title deed for your land as collateral to get an investor, then the same PDD is a collateral to what you call carbon investors who are looking to invest in projects across the planet. Quite a number of people. If, for example, if you just write this down, NSB, for example, is an institution that offers finance for areas of nature-based, especially agroforestry and whatnot. It's something they can provide. But you are looking at having the project design, the PDT, as the collateral. Because remember, like any investor, for them to give you money, they need something to hold in trust or like a surety. So in the case of the carbon markets, how we raise finance easily is what you call the PDD. On the question of size, so it's very, very important. So this is how I address it. We all agree that trees tend to absorb the CO2, which is a greenhouse gas. And the way in which trees are able to capture carbon is when they're absorbing the CO2, they use the CO2 captured for photosynthesis to make the foods, and the remainder tends to be stored within the tree's branches and the root system, what you call the biomass, above ground biomass and below ground. And the older and the bigger the tree becomes, the more it can store. Sisal, however, is not really a tree. But the way in which you can be able to generate carbon credits from a sisal farm is not from the sisal plants, but from the agricultural land management practices you do. So think of the soil, not the sisal, think of the soil. Are you reducing tillage? Are you using organic fertilizer, for example? Are you able to demonstrate a case whereby you have improved or increased the capacity of the soil to capture or store what you call now the soil organic carbon, SOC? So it's not really always about the plants or the crop, but think of the soil itself. We often think of the plants or the crops if you're looking at terrestrial forestry, a typical forest. If you're doing avocado trees, you're doing citrus. I often encourage people to do fruit trees if you're looking to do carbon credits for tree plants, because you're able to harvest the fruits before you get the carbon credits, because it takes a couple of months, if not years, before you're issued because of the long systematic process. But yes, in theory, it is possible for you to get carbon credits from a sisal plantation, not from the sisal plant itself, but actually from the soil. Why? Because when you come to harvest some of these things, you're able to take away whatever is stored. So I won't look at the sisal plant, I will look at now that particular farm. It's the ability for you to now capture this carbon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Charles Waweru. We are excited about the knowledge you've shared, and we hope that we'll still have more other opportunities in future to engage you and also to have more discussions around climate smart practices. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, as Mr. Charles takes his leave from the virtual stage, can we appreciate him and celebrate him one more time in the chat box? Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, so we have come to the segment a lot of you have been waiting for. So we're going to be unveiling some of the faces for the second cohort of the Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shock program. And this cohort is called Cohort A, Green Stewards. These are some of the faces, not all, because we have over 1,163 applications from over 25 African countries, and then 876 of you were selected. So please, I want you to know that it's a lot of faces, but we're trying to design a system, a flyer where you can now individually put in your pictures and say, I am a BRACE participant, cohort A. So once the program officer comes up and tell you about your program, I'm sure there'll be a WhatsApp group and there will be other email correspondence. We would share the link to that flyer, and then if your face is not here, don't feel bad because we have a lot of persons. You can now use that template to create your own flyer and share on social media. But this is just few of the faces who were selected for this program. We have, remember, you are 876, okay? And not all of you are here. But if your face is not here, you're still part of this program. So we're going to invite the program's officer, Patience Brimo. She's going to come up next to tell you about the program components. Patience Brimo, please, you have the floor. I see some
All right,
saying
thank you so much.
I know you would say you cannot see yourself, but don't worry. When we use that medium, I mean, that template we've talked about, you can now create your own flyer. Okay, so apologies for that. So Patience, please continue.
All right, thank you so much, and thanks for keeping up
Sorry,
with everything.
Patience.
Can you hear me?
Sorry to cut you short. Please, the official WhatsApp group will be shared by the AFC team. I see that some persons are already creating a WhatsApp group and saying to join the WhatsApp group. No, any WhatsApp group you're seeing there is not the official BRACE program WhatsApp group. Patience, I'm sure you would say something about.
Yes, thank you so much, and thank you. So we're going to send the link to the official WhatsApp group to everyone via WhatsApp, via email, just like the way we sent you your acceptance letter via email. We're going to send you the link to log into the portal and also the link to join the WhatsApp group via email. Just after this call, we're going to do all of that so that everyone can be in the WhatsApp group. So whatever link you're seeing on the chat now is not from BRACE, please. Thank you so much. So for the program component and what we are expecting from participants, we are actually going to be starting with the diagnostic tool. Diagnostic tool is what we use to diagnose your business, what level your business is, what's your level of awareness about climate change, and then if you have any climate smart practice and all that in your business. So immediately after this call, we're going to send you an email. So the email will contain the link. It will contain the link for you to be able to access the portal, the learning portal, and also for you to be able to join the WhatsApp group. So immediately you log into the portal. We're still going to do a portal walkthrough just after this explanation. We're going to show you what the portal looks like so that it's not strange to you when you get the link and you are trying to log into the portal. So there is the diagnostic tool. Diagnostic tool, like I explained, is just what assesses your business and all that. So you see the questions. That's the first thing you do when you get into the portal. If you don't answer the questions in the diagnostic tool questions, you won't be able to access the portal. So that's actually very, very important. So after the diagnostic tool, you're able to now access the portal, all the modules, all the learning, the courses, everything. You're able to access them, and you're taking them one after the other. So there is the place for additional reading materials. You will get there for every course. For all of the trainers that you see, you also have additional reading materials for you to be able to source more information about those courses and all that. And then there is at the end of every module, there is the assessment. Assessment is just to basically test your knowledge or your understanding of what you have learned from that module. So assessment is highest 20 questions, but there are some modules that even have less than 20 questions. And then we have the assignment. Assignment is just like a practical question that you see at the end of every module, just to help you also understand more about the module. And then during our live interactive sessions, so after you have started the course, you have logged into the portal, we'll be having live interactive sessions every week to discuss the topics, to discuss the modules, to discuss the assignments, and then to also celebrate top scholars for that week. So when you do the assessments, people that get the highest scores and all that, they are celebrated every week during our live interactive session. So it is during the live interactive session you get to we'll bring industry experts, we'll bring facilitators, just like Mr. Charles, we'll bring people like him to the live sessions so that you can ask them questions, directly get their knowledge, and then gain from them as to what you need to know about the modules. And then all your questions are always being answered during the live interactive sessions. So basically we have the diagnostic tool, we have the e-learning, we have the live interactive sessions, and we have the assignments and the assessments. And these are completed in 6 weeks. So only people that complete the course, everything as to diagnostic, as to e-learning, live interactive session, that attends all the live interactive session as well as the assignment and assessment, will be able to graduate, get the certificate, and also participate in the benefits of the travel learnings, the practical studies and all of that, all the sessions. People that are able to get this so that able to get all the other that comes with the course and all that. So I advise, or I'm saying that it's okay to finish the course, because it's only when you finish the course that you can gain other things and other. And also advise that you join the membership platform to be able to get other things from though the membership officer is still coming to explain to you what the membership platform or the membership community is about. And therefore I advise that you join the community to be able to get more resources and more benefits from African food chain makers. Thank you so much. So we're going to be able to do the portal walkthrough so that you see what the portal looks like. And then afterwards, we'll try to answer all the questions that you may have thereabouts. Thank you very much. And please let me know if I can go ahead and share my screen to share the portal walkthrough with the participants. Thank you.
Yes, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, so just a second to share my screen. Thank you.
So once you've gotten your email and password, you insert it as usual, and then you log in. Once you've logged in, you would see your participant information. Well, this is based on what you've used when you applied.
So apologies, I'm sure Patience is trying to share her screen again. The portal walkthrough is for you to know how you can access the training program. Okay, so I just want you to listen attentively. The video will be played. That's our IT coordinator sharing how you can access it. So I want you to listen carefully, because after now the instructions about how to access the course will be made known to you, but listen carefully, because this portal walkthrough would help you know how to assess your course. So, Patience. So I'm sure some of you would already have questions regarding the GRACE program. You can also ask, and then in the next 5 minutes after the portal walkthrough, patients will just answer that. And then we have one more important session you shouldn't miss before you leave. We are saving the best for the last, so don't go nowhere until we take the final group picture. So patients, let's share it.
Your email and password. So once you've gotten your email and password, you insert it as usual, and then you log in. Once you've logged in, you would see your information. To just answer the questions accordingly. There are lots of questions here, so we don't go further. You can also save and exit. Let's say you're kind of like tired or you're busy or something, you could save and come back later. Now, I can resume. Okay, here you go. 4%, and then I continue. So that's all for the diagnostic tool.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sorry, just to quickly drop off. So it's like the network is not really strong over here. So I'm struggling with sharing the portal walkthrough videos and all that. But please, please, I would send these videos to the portal and also to the WhatsApp platform so that you all can look at it. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me, because it looks like this is not an effective way to really share this with you. So I wouldn't really want to bug you more with this, but then I will share it again on the WhatsApp platform and the portal. Thank you so much, thank you.
All right, and someone also suggested and said, admin, please, I think it will be fine if you share this video as email for better comprehension. So if you have questions, please hold on with the question. I'll invite, okay, so we're going to take questions and answer briefly. Do you have any question based on everything that Patience has shared? How can we get the WhatsApp number? You're not going to get a WhatsApp number. A link to join the WhatsApp group will be shared with you. Okay, so while you're still trying to put together your questions, which I'm sure Patience has done justice to this, I'm going to invite okay, we've done portal walkthrough. So I'm going to invite, so this is the next step. All right, so create your login details, complete the pre-diagnostic tool, start with the one. You'll still receive an email from Brace. So always check your email and then also join the WhatsApp group once that is done. So I'll invite our membership officer, Nosa Obano, for the membership drive. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together in the chat box. We have another AFC team member who is coming up on this virtual set. So please, let's celebrate Nosa Obano as it comes up. Thank you, Yenisam Wari, for the clap. Thank you, Bashiru. Thank you, Samuel. All right, Nosa, we are clapping for you. Over to you.
Thank you, Makan. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you. And thank you, Patience, as well, for that insightful overview of GRACE. And one congratulations to every participant on this call. My name is Nosa Obano, and I am the membership officer for Africa Food Makers, and I'll be taking us through the membership drive. And just to start, I would like to know if some of us on this call can drop our membership status. Are we members of Africa Food Makers, or are we just participants of the GRACE program? So let me know, those of us who are members already, or those who are just various participants on this call. I would love to see our members. I would love to see your hands up. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Samuel. How have you just been following? It would be nice to become a member. Thank you. Yeah, I see lots of members on this call, and it's a good thing. So most of us are just aware that we provide programs, we implement programs, but aside that, don't know that we belong to the community of change makers. So we have a membership platform where entrepreneurs in the agri-food space across Africa are able to connect and network with other entrepreneurs to share ideas, share opportunities, and leverage on the community support. So we have a community hub that is home to over 3,000 entrepreneurs from 42 African countries. And what we do is that we provide them with support. And some of the support we provide are related on this slide. We help them to assess and strengthen their agribusinesses to scale. We also prepare the agribusinesses to enter new African and global markets as well. We refer our entrepreneurs to funding opportunities, to speaking engagement, and to exhibition opportunities as well. In addition to what we do is that we also provide market linkages to our entrepreneurs. We enhance the visibility and promote their media engagement of our entrepreneurs. And in addition, also is that we give them access to exclusive networking events, and we have an access to the resource hub. So these are the opportunities we offer to our entrepreneurs. They are not limited to this. We are also keen on showing our entrepreneurs to the global scale. So we leverage any opportunity that we see that is open to our entrepreneurs, or our entrepreneurs can benefit from these opportunities. We don't provide funding to our entrepreneurs, but we can recommend our entrepreneurs to funding opportunities. We are also keen on capacity building. So our members are always on the lookout for speaking engagements, for capacity building opportunities, for knowledge sharing opportunities, and for referrals and recommendations from our end. And if we can move the slide forward, I'll just show us how we can become members for those of us who are not members on this call. Makan, if you could help with this slide. Thank you so much. So these are the 4 steps you can take to become a bona fide member of our community. The first is through the AFC Hub. We will have to visit the website www.afchub.org to know more about what our community offers and what our homepage is all about. When you click on the website, you see all our different programs, all our activities, and all our impact numbers in terms of our impact and reach. So once you click on the website, you can navigate to the top right corner of your website or your phone, of your laptop or your phone rather. And an alternative is on the home page. Once you see the display of the African food chain makers and our members' pictures being displayed on the home page, you will see a direct link that shows you to join the community or visit the home page. What you have to do is to click on the join the community icon, and once you click on that join the community, you'll be taken to a registration dashboard where you'll be asked some questions regarding your personal information and your business information. And after it completes, that will take about 2 to 3 minutes to complete. And after completing that questions, you are then required to click on submit. And upon submission, you receive a notification or an email that tells you that your registration will be viewed in the space of 24 hours, and you'll be getting a verification email to decide if your membership status is verified or not. And the criteria for us from our end to review your website or your membership registration are just 3. The first is you must own an agribusiness, or you must work in an agribusiness organization where you make top decisions. That is, either you are the founder of the business, or you are the CEO, or you are a top management team of the agribusiness. Second is the agribusiness you own or you work for must be in existence for at least 6 months prior to when you decide to register to join or become a member of our community. And lastly is that your agribusiness or your business should have a social media visibility handle or a website that tells more about what you do. So if you say you're into production of farm of rice or a cash crop or a value crop, we need to know what exactly you are doing, and this is mostly gotten from a social media handle or your website. So as an entrepreneur, our main objective in our organization is to help our entrepreneurs scale. So part of what we do to help scale is to create that visibility from our end for your businesses. So as a stepping stone from your own hand is to have your business already having a social media presence, social media handle. So what we do is to promote your business using our own social media communication strategy as well. So we are keen on promoting and creating that visibility for entrepreneurs. And upon this, we review from our end, and when we see that your registration fits what's the criteria you are looking for, you get a verification email within the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on how long it takes for us to review your application. Then when you get that, you'll be assigned to a designated membership dashboard, where you also have details of the ongoings in the agri-food space and in community of other entrepreneurs, where you can chat them up, you can leverage networking with them, and also view other entrepreneurs and activities. You can also view other entrepreneurs' description, that company details, and if you see that they align with what you are looking for, or you see a prospect in a particular entrepreneur, you can always network and chat the entrepreneur up as well. And aside that, you are also added to the Telegram group and the WhatsApp group, but you can join those groups directly from your dashboard. When you log into your dashboard, you would see the links to join the membership WhatsApp group, the membership Telegram group, the membership LinkedIn group, and the membership Facebook on your dashboard. What you have to do is just to click on those links to become a part of the community. And aside that, we are keen on leveraging knowledge sessions. So for our membership community, every month we have what we call the first Thursday, which is similar to this, and is a way of creating that gap, or bridging that gap of capacity building within our membership community or within the agri-food space. So we invite industry experts, we invite leads in this agri sector to come share insights with our entrepreneurs on specific value chain discussions, and also look for insight on how entrepreneurs can leverage knowledge sharing and also knowledge information in the agri-food space. And aside that, we also have different features for our members to leverage on. I'll talk about one of them, which is the members marketplace. For most of us here, we have our products, we have our services we offer in our agri space, and we need like a marketplace feature for our products to get the visibility they want, or to get the needed attention they want. So we have that marketplace function on our hub. What you do is that you navigate to your dashboard, and you go to your marketplace product details in your membership dashboard, and upload the products you wish to upload for visibility. So what you just need to do is you need to upload the product picture, the product description, the prices, the tag. Is it a beverage? Is it a spice? Depending on the kind of product you offer or the services you offer, there are designated questions for you to impute before you can upload your product or your services. So what you do is, after you've uploaded those product and service details, you click on the submit icon. So once you submit that product, it's left to us to review your submission and see that it fits what you actually imputed. And that's upon review as well, that should be approved from our admin end, and you would notice that your products are on the AFC website. And from there, those people that visit our website or visit our marketplace and are interested in getting this particular product Upon clicking the link that is on the product details, they'll directly get in touch with you. So when you are filling those details from your dashboard, and it's advisable you fill the links that lead directly to your product sales or your website, or for those of us that use WhatsApp as our mode of business transaction, if a potential client can click on the link and it takes them directly to your WhatsApp where they can engage in further transaction details, depending on how they are interested in your products. Aside from that, we are also keen on creating visibility for entrepreneurs themselves. So we have what we call our Instagram live showcase, where our members are always showcased on a monthly basis. We have the floor to talk about their business, how they've improved over the years, and the benefit they've accrued as being members of AFC. And those are some of the benefits you offer to entrepreneurs. We also offer them with opportunities on a weekly basis. We share newsletters with them. We share opportunity bulletins with them. And we also recommend our members for investments, for funding opportunities, and other opportunities we see that are necessary to scale our agri businesses in Africa. Thank you so much. I would drop the link on the chat for those of us who are yet to become members to join the membership community and also network and leverage with other entrepreneurs as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Nosa. So this is the point where everyone should be rushing to click the link to sign up to become a member. So my question is, what are you waiting for? With all these amazing opportunities that Nosa has talked about, talking about access to opportunities for capacity building, for funding, access to training opportunities, conferences, a marketplace to showcase your product. Wow. Please click on that link right now. Okay, so let's quickly do that. If you have any questions, okay. Yanis, you can ask your question. I'm sure Nosa, in the next 5 minutes, Nosa should be able to answer the question. Please, if you have okay. Someone says, no, so I says my email is already in use. Does that mean I am already a member? That's another question. How? All right. So if you have questions, please go ahead and ask. No, sir, I don't know if you can provide clarity on that.
You can, but you should be signing up.
I can.
Sorry?
I am, yeah. So I see one of those questions that said email has already been used. Probably you've registered with that email, and upon verification, it was not a complete registration. So our advice, if you can drop the email, send an email to us with the email you used to register, and we'll double check from our end. So in most cases, the reason for that prompt is that your email, you've already used that email to sign up before. And following our review, it was not a complete registration. So in most cases, you can always reach out to the membership team, providing your email that you used to sign up, and we check from our end if it was a successful or complete registration. Then we provide more feedback regarding that. Thank you. Any other question?
Okay, thank you.
I see James Dada's hands are up.
Okay, for the person who said for your social media, it doesn't have, as long as you have a social media handle, copy the URL of your social media and put, we're not looking at attraction, but just make sure you have a medium for visibility. So copy your URL and also know that we'll always review your application. Your application does not automatically guarantee you be a member. So we have criteria which NOSA has listed. So if you meet those criteria, then your application will be approved. But I want to know how many persons have taken action right now. If you know you just signed up to become a member and you submitted your application successfully, let me know in the chat, but just indicate. I want to see action takers. How many of us clicked on that link because I saw the, okay, Rose says, I just did. Beautiful. Lucy said, I just signed up. So let me know if you just clicked on the link and you have filled every detail and you've signed up. Let me know. Just say, I just did. I just did. Okay, Kenneth said, I did 2 weeks ago, but have you been accepted? Ade said, I have started but not finished. I'm going to give you the next 5 minutes. Complete your application. Then if you have questions, for those who raise their hands up, please, we'll just unmute so you ask your question. So for the next 5 minutes, I will come back to the chat box to see those who have completed the application. Okay, so questions? Okay, those of you who are already registered members, you are the OGs, like you are the, so I celebrate you. But right now, we want the new people who are not yet members. And I know over 80% of you on this call are not yet members. And we don't want you to miss out on the opportunities AFC have for you. So please don't miss out. And I know if you jump off this call, you may get busy. And I want you to know that the fact that you were selected for the Brace program does not mean you are a member of AFC. So why not become a member to assess the whole benefit of being a member? Please go ahead and ask your question, P-Way. Please drop the link again. Roland is asking for the link. Please drop the link again. My network went down. What did I miss? You missed a lot, but watch out for the replay and you would catch up on all you missed. Someone is asking, what are the criteria? What criteria do you base on to confirm applicants' eligibility in the AFC membership? I think Nosa already listed the qualifications. Nosa, please, can you list out the qualifications again, the things you look out for before approving an application?
Yeah, thank you, Makan. If you can go back to that other slide. So, like I said, the next slide. So definitely, I talked about 3 criteria to become a member, and on this slide that has been highlighted in yellow. So the first is that you either own an agribusiness or you are a top management at that agribusiness. That means you are the CEO, CFO, manager. So far, you can make a decision regarding the agribusiness. You are eligible to become a member. The second is that the agribusiness you own or you work for should be in existence for at least 6 months prior to when you decide to register to become a member of African Food Chain Makers. And lastly is that you should have a social media presence or a website. Most time, this is not a major criteria, but it's not mandatory, but it is advisable you have a social media handle or a website because, like I said, we are keen on creating that visibility of our entrepreneurs. So part of what we do in creating visibility is to improve your social media presence as an organization, as an agribusiness. So those are the major criteria we look out for in approving a member.
Thank you, Nosa. So own a business and then it should be in existence for 6 months and then your social media presence. Okay, so I see everyone. So you can go ahead and click on the link now. I gave you like 2 more minutes so that we can see how many persons have been able to sign up. So if you know you've submitted your registration, like you clicked on register, you filled all the details after clicking the link that was shared in the chat box, just say I just did. Okay, someone is asking, please, if you're finding it difficult to unmute, just type your question. Okay, I have made several attempts to join the membership to no avail. So please, team members, let's take note of that email address. I will register, but I want to ensure I do with my organization social media handle. That's great. That's great. Okay, James says it's a wonderful program. Through the platform, I got to see the Brace program. So I guess you're already a member. Christopher said, because you rejected my application the last time. Oh, apologies if your application was rejected. Try again. I'm sure maybe you did not meet up some of the criteria. That was why it was rejected. Pee-wee, can we, no, even after this session, you can apply, but we just don't want you to forget, because some of you will leave this session and you may forget to click on that link. So if you can apply within the session, just click on that link and start your application. It's going to take you less than 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, let me see. So at the chat indicates verified members only. Does it imply I'm not verified yet? Okay. Thank you, team members, for already answering some of the questions. Okay, some persons are still looking for the link, so please share the link. Okay, already a member 3 weeks back. Well done and welcome. I tried but could not now. Aisha, so sorry about that. Probably it's network glitch. Try again. I got rejected. Okay, so please keep trying, keep trying. I'm sure after this meeting, we're going to send you an email with the link to sign up. But I want action takers. So if you know you just signed up now, type in the chat box, I want to acknowledge you. All right, Mercedes said submitted again, and it still says email already in use. Wow. Please, team members, let's see how to support Mercedes and Joko. So Mercedes, drop your email address and I'll see. Okay, no, sir.
Yeah, for Mercedes, so you're already a member of our community already. So I don't know why, that's the reason why it's saying your email already is because from our end, we verified your registration and you're a bona fide member of our community. So I would advise that you log into your membership dashboard with the email you used to register and the password you used to register, rather than creating a
what if they've forgotten their password, Musa?
Yeah, just to click on the reset password.
Okay, so if you're already a member and you've forgotten
your
your password, click on forget password. Okay, so they should sign in with that email address and click on forget password, right?
Yes, rather than trying to register again on that same email, it should keep showing that you registered before. Because from our end, we've captured your email. So it most likely, most likely you did not receive a confirmation email, which is not supposed to be so. So we advise that you sign up to the membership dashboard using the email used to register and the password. If you forgotten the password, you could also always try the reset password or forgotten password. Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Noah. Noah said he has submitted. Okay, we'll review your application. Who else has submitted? Lydia is, okay, Lydia, I can't see your screenshot. Sorry about that. And Victor Muli says, I'm a member. Please avoid criteria of being a CEO in a company to be eligible within AFC membership, okay? Safiana says, is there a provision for membership certificates? Same email already in use. So Fatima, please, you can do forget password. Payba says, thanks for the session, I'll drop off. Okay, so everyone, okay. So let's keep the feedback coming. Let's drop the link again, but thank you so much, Nusa. If you have other questions, please send us an email and we would respond to that. Our time is already fast spent, and you would receive the confirmation later on. Patel, well done that you just submitted. Well done. Kiswi, I have submitted. Well done, lead here for submitting. Everyone who just took action right now, well done. You were action takers and I celebrate you. We all celebrate you specially. Even though you cannot click the link to register now, please immediately after you jump off this call, click on that link and register. Don't procrastinate, because there are so many things you will miss out, and we may share some opportunities next week, and if you're not on our email list, you will not have access to those opportunities. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Keep clicking the link and submit your registration. So right now, I want you to know that there are other ways you can also stay engaged with us. Join our community of entrepreneurs from over 42 African countries. That is what you gain when you sign up to become a member. You are joining the community of agripreneurs across over 42 African countries. Follow us on social media On Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, it is African Food Change Makers. On Twitter, it is _AFC Hub. And then this is like my favorite time, because every time I moderate, a lot of you see my faces. And when we have speakers, you see the speakers' faces. But this time, we want to see your face. So please turn on your cameras, and with a big smile, I want you to take a screenshot. I want to see your faces right now. So turn on your cameras and make sure you are smiling. I can see Esonu Opeyemi, Lindiwe, I see you've got a beautiful smile. So please take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. And I see Etel, your smile is blazing. I can feel the smile from here. I see Uzlani. I see Victor, Sani, Matabo, Duma. I see your smile. Farouk, Folashade. Please take a screenshot and share on social media and say, I attended the Brace, the first Thursday /Brace on onboarding session, and tag us on social media on Instagram, African Food Change Makers, LinkedIn, and Facebook. But make sure you take a screenshot, because you may not have the opportunity to see everyone's face again. All right, Ayanda, I see your face. Kaiso, James, Ikpato Desmond. I'm sorry if I did not pronounce your name well. Londiwe Dalmini, I see your face. Who else? I see Happy Mpete. Alex, I see you. Aishatu Yunusa. Okay, everyone, please keep turning on your cameras. Keep turning on your cameras. Make sure you're smiling. Millicent, I see you. Solomon, Samuel, Adekunle, Fiona, but I think that's Bature, dear. Oh my God, we have amazing persons. Rosemary, Amina, Hussein, Chinyere, Rosemary, everyone, thank you so much for joining. All right, thank you so much. Make sure you follow us on social media and tag us. Say, I just attended the AFC program, or if you were selected for the Brace program, say you were selected, and also share what you learned from Mr. Charles. I'm sure Mr. Charles would want to see your feedback. All right, thank you so much, everyone. It has been an amazing time with you all. Congratulations once again to everyone who was selected for the Brace program. Make sure you check your email address, your emails, because every other correspondence on how you can access the course and also to join the WhatsApp group and to become a member of AFC will be shared in the next email. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening, and bye everyone.